Okay, so imagine for a second you're a structural engineer. Your boss hands you the keys to a small apartment building. I mean, a massive 3-ton structure. And he looks at you, totally straight-faced, and says, right, I need you to make this thing lap a racetrack and make it handle like a sports car. Need it by Monday.
Yeah, that's not an engineering challenge. That's, a direct violation of the laws of physics. Or at the very least, a really expensive insurance claim waiting to happen.
It is, isn't it? But that is basically the design brief for what we're diving into today. We are looking at a huge contradiction in terms.
It's a big one.
It's a 3-row family SUV that seems to think it's a Formula One car. We're talking about the 2026 Nissan Armada NISMO and its global twin, the Patrol NISMO.
I've started calling it the high-speed high-rise. It's like the automotive version of a heavyweight boxer trying to sprint the 100-meter dash.
While wearing a tuxedo.
Exactly. It's excessive, it's loud, and, from a pure engineering standpoint, it just shouldn't work.
But that's where the fun is, right? So our mission today is to figure out if slapping that legendary NISMO badge Nissan Motorsports on an SUV this big is a stroke of genius or just, a cynical marketing play.
That's the ultimate question. NISMO belongs on the GTR, on the Z, low, fast things. Putting that name on a beast like this, it requires some serious mental gymnastics. I'm skeptical.
Well, to figure it out, we've got a whole stack of documents. We've pulled the official press kits from Nissan USA and Nissan Middle East, and that's actually crucial.
Oh, it is.
We've got tech specs, market analysis from January 2026, and even some comparisons against the Toyota Land Cruiser.
And looking at those spec sheets side by side, that was the first big surprise, because usually a global car is a global car.
Right.
But here we found a genuine discrepancy, a bit of a scandal, really.
Okay, let's start right there. That under the hood, we're looking at the engine. It's the new VR35 DDTT twin-turbo V6.
Right, so this replaces the old, much-loved, naturally aspirated V8. In the U.S., the Armada NISMO puts out 460 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque.
Which is a lot. That's the most powerful Armada ever sold here. It's going to be a monster on the freeway.
It is, no question. But then you look at the numbers for the Patrol NISMO in the Middle East.
Yeah, I saw your note on this, and I had to read it twice.
You're not misreading it. Over there, the spec sheet says 495 horsepower and 700 newton meters of torque.
So wait, same engine?
Same engine, same chassis. But the version they sell in Dubai has 35 more horsepower than the one they sell in Detroit.
That's not a small difference. That's a serious chunk of power that just disappeared over the ocean.
Yeah.
Why is the U.S. getting a detuned version?
The source is called the Middle East version the unfiltered experience, and it comes down to where the engines are built. The Patrol NISMO engines, the ones for that market, are built in the Iwaki plant in Japan.
And the Iwaki plant is special because?
It's basically holy ground for Nissan fans. That's where they hand-build the GTR engines. They're called Takumi engines.
Takumi. Like the master craftsman who signed the engine block.
Exactly. The press materials for the Middle East talk all about this Takumi-like build quality. It's tuned for the modern Gulf driver who demands power, presence, and prestige.
So in the U.S., you don't just lose 35 horsepower, you lose the hand-built artisanal story that goes with it.
It seems so. It might be for emissions, could be just a product positioning thing. But if you're buying the top dog performance model, knowing a more powerful version exists, well, that stings.
It absolutely stings. But okay, even with a light engine, 460 horsepower is still a huge number for a vehicle this size.
Oh, it's not slow. It's startlingly fast for a building. But since they switched from a V8 to a V6, they had another problem to solve.
The sound.
The sound. You can't have a NISMO that sounds like a minivan. So the press kit talks about active sound enhancement.
Which is the polite corporate way of saying
Cake noise.
I thought so.
Look, a twin-turbo V6 is efficient, it's torquey, but the turbos chop up the exhaust note. So to make it sound mean like the old V8, they're piping amplified engine sounds through the cabin speakers.
It's a bit like lip syncing, doesn't it?
It's exactly like lip syncing. Yeah. The irony is doing all this in a vehicle with gross weight of over 3,500 kilograms. You're trying to make a tank sound like a sports car. It's pure theater.
Well, speaking of theater, let's talk about the looks, because the photos are Aggressive.
Subtle is not in the vocabulary here. I'd call the design theme aerodynamics of a brick.
It's definitely a brick, a very angry brick with a V-motion grille and red stripes everywhere.
That red stripe is the NISMO signature. But what surprised me in the technical documents is that it's not all just for show. This is where the engineers earn their money. It's functional aero.
Functional. On a box. How?
Well, they claim zero lift engineering.
Break that down for me. Why do I care about lift in an SUV?
Because at highway speeds, air rushing underneath a tall vehicle can make it feel light and floaty, and that's terrifying in a 3-ton truck.
Right.
The body kit, the front splitter, the spoiler, it's all designed to suck the truck down onto the road to keep it planted.
Okay, that makes sense.
And get this, they have these side air curtains,
Yeah.
little slots in the bumper that create tiny tornadoes around the front wheels to clean up the airflow and reduce drag.
That's surprisingly nerdy. I like it.
But my favorite detail, and this is pure marketing genius, is the rear fog light.
The one in the middle of the bumper.
Yeah, it strobes when you brake hard. And the press kit says it's inspired by their Formula E race cars.
Formula E, the all-electric racing series.
The very same. They've put a piece of tech from their most efficient battery-powered race car onto a gas-guzzling giant that probably gets 15 miles to the gallon.
That is just a beautiful contradiction.
It's perfect, isn't it? It's like wearing high-tech running shoes to sit on the couch.
But speaking of shoes, the wheels. This is one thing that seems like a legitimate upgrade, not just style.
The 22-inch wheels. They're forged alloys made by Rays.
Rayways is a big deal in the racing world.
A huge deal. And the key number here is that these massive 22s are 23% lighter than the standard wheels.
And why does that matter so much? A few pounds on a 3-ton car.
It matters more than almost anything. It's what we call unsprung mass. Everything, the suspension isn't holding up wheels, tires, brakes.
Okay.
Think of it like running in heavy hiking boots versus light running shoes. Lighter shoes let your feet react faster. Lighter wheels let the suspension work better, keeping the tire on the road. This is a real performance upgrade, not just bling.
So they're taking the physics seriously. All right, let's sip inside the captain's quarters, because for $80,000, it had better be nice in there.
Oh, it's nice. The theme is, let's call it Dracula Goes to the Racetrack.
Black and red, I'm guessing.
All of it. Quilted black leather, red Alcantara suede, red stitching. But my favorite part is the description of the seats. They're designed to hold occupants during spirited driving.
Spirited driving. With like 7 other people in the car?
That's the image, isn't it? You're hitting an apex, and in the third row, Grandma is just holding on for dear life, who is spiritedly driving an 8-seater.
The dad who's very, very late for soccer practice.
That's the guy. And they've equipped it for him. You get a red tachometer and, crucially, paddle shifters on the steering wheel.
Paddle shifters seem pretty common now, though.
They are, but it's about the competition. The Toyota Land Cruiser GR Sport, its main rival, the sources point out it does not have paddle shifters.
So Nissan is going for the more driver-focused feel.
Exactly. The Toyota is for the apocalypse. The Nissan is for feeling like a pilot on the freeway. It has 2 massive 14.3-inch screens, a Klipsch stereo. It even has biometric cooling.
Okay, what in the world is biometric cooling?
It's wild. The car uses infrared sensors to scan your body temperature. If it senses you're getting hot, maybe from all that spirited driving, it adjusts the air conditioning just for you.
That's some serious tech.
It's overload. But it reinforces the whole idea. It's a luxury liner trying to convince you you're in a race car.
Okay, so how does this thing actually dance? How does a heavyweight sprinter move?
There was a great quote in one of the reviews we polled. It said, "This car is built for Yas Marina, not the empty quarter."
So the Formula One track, not the desert.
Precisely. This is the big shift. The NISMO is for the pavement. And a lot of that comes down to the tires.
They look pretty low profile in the pictures.
They are. 2,550 R22 performance tires, great for grip on a smooth road, terrible if you hit a pothole. There's just no cushion.
But the suspension is upgraded, right?
Oh yeah, and it's smart. It uses Bilstein shocks and adaptive electronic air suspension. It's reading the road and adjusting the stiffness in real time to fight body roll.
So it's trying to keep this huge thing flat in a corner.
Exactly. The reviews say it feels unexpectedly agile. It corners flatter than it has any right to. But, you can never really beat physics. You can only bribe it for a little while.
And stopping it must be a challenge.
A big one. The front bumper is even designed to funnel cooling air directly onto the brakes. And of course, the calipers are painted red.
Because red makes it stop faster.
Obviously. Adds at least 5 style points.
So let's get to the market reality. Who is actually buying this? And how much does it cost?
In the US, it starts around $79,530. It's firmly in luxury SUV territory. You could get a BMW X5 or a base Porsche Cayenne for that kind of money.
So why the Nissan?
Well, the buyer for this is specific. I call this person the minivan refuser.
The minivan refuser. I think I know this person.
You do. They have 3 kids, all the gear, and logic says buy a minivan, but their ego says, no, I'm still cool, I do not drive a sliding door.
And the Armada NISMO is the answer.
It's the emotional loophole. It lets them pretend they're driving a performance car on the school run. It's a purchase based on identity, not utility.
Because if you wanted utility, you'd buy a cheaper Armada.
Exactly. The NISMO sacrifices ride comfort for cornering you'll never use. And the fuel economy, well, you will be on a first-name basis with the people at your local gas station.
So wrapping this all up, is it a good car?
I think the best way to say it is, it's a dinosaur in a tuxedo.
I like that.
It's the peak of the old world. Big gas engine, big body, big noise. It's excessive. And we're moving into an EV world where a Rivian is faster off the line without making a sound.
So this is like the last roar of the gas-powered super SUV.
It's a celebration of it. And to be fair, the engineering is impressive. Making something this big handle this well is an achievement. The interior is great. It's a cool thing, but it's also completely absurd.
And that power difference still bugs me. If I'm paying 80 grand for the ultimate version, I want the ultimate engine.
You want the Takumi tune.
I want the Takumi tune. I want the unfiltered experience.
It's the principle of it. But, you know, in a world full of boring appliance cars, this thing has personality. And maybe that's worth paying for.
That's a great point. You can't call it boring.
Definitely not. It's a conversation starter.
So here's a final thought for you listening. With electric motors now owning the performance game, does a gas-powered performance SUV even make sense anymore? Or is all that noise and vibration part of the soul that a battery just can't replace?
And if you're listening to this in the US, does it bother you? Knowing that right now, somewhere in Dubai, there's a petrol Nismo with your engine, but with 35 more horsepower, just laughing as it goes by.
That thought is definitely going to keep me up tonight. Thanks for diving in with us, everyone.
Drive safe, and check your tire pressure on those 22s.
See you next time.